Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Ephemeral One, and welcome back to more Elden Ring. Of me being back on my bullshit about the story. Let's see. Last time we were exploring the sacred. We were exploring the sacred field, consecrated field, and came across several. How do I want to put it? Alright. We were exploring the sacred snowfields, digging into the origin of Yolog, and we came across a teleporter covered in blood. And we now have access to Mogwin's Palace, the final underground area. And this right here is actually the farming spot for most players in the game. Because by and large, you can pick up some really good spoils and souls if you can kill all these guys around here all at once. And with enough attack power, you can one-shot all these guys. Golden Room 10. But as we can see, there's a lot of Albinorics here, and more. The ability to sprout these blood needles. Yeah. The red ones are far more aggressive, but they still bleed silver. And then from there, it's nothing but these regular silver ones, too. Like I said, payout's pretty good. And since it's right next to a bonfire, I keep wanting to call them bonfires, they're not. They're Lost Grace. Still. Yeah. Yeah, this becomes one of the most popular places to farm. Because as you can see, 2,000 a pop, relatively defenseless. But yeah. There's a good amount of them over here. Mogwin's Palace, the final area of the underground. And one of the most dangerous areas in the game. As we can see here, there's quite a few of these guys. One, two. Ooh. Yeah, them bypassing your shield sucks. Though you'll notice they have little horns sticking out of their heads, unlike any other group you'll see for these. And the ability to sprout these bloody needles. And there's a darker path. There's the bloody path, where we can see aristocrats from the main capital all being strung up. There's this little dark path off to the side. Okay. That's just a shortcut to down there. We'll get to there when we get to there. For now, we'll just take this route. Nope, this liquid, this blood, doesn't inflict anything. But also note that the second we walk out here... Yeah. We're allowed to get some help. The reason being, there is a lot of enemies out here. A truly large amount. And yes, blood tax. Yep. Nice. Yep. And they were waiting to ambush you. As far as blood tax goes, if I remember right, is the colossal weapons yeah. Capable of thrusting, colossal weapons accepted, oath skill, Lord of Blood, twist and build and power, then unleash a flare of thrust who rob the target of both their blood and their HP. So it is just a rapid stab that just really throws on damage. Alright. Though it's worth noting, despite going for their blood, though working for the Lord of Blood, ooh, Hero Runes 4. That's some real payback. Let's see, that's what? $35,000 runes. Oof. Oh no, 30,000. Though, as I pointed out before, the interesting thing is the runes seem to resemble effectively a blood-tainted excrement. Ugh. Now that just sounds nasty. And probably something you should have looked at by your doctor. Okay. They're just traveling along. Got them. Yep. Managed to cut through quite a few. To even hurt the tier quite a bit. But as you can see, this place is a fairly good payout in general. Yeah, if you guys can keep these guys on the back foot, this is a great place for farming. Like, these Albinorics are no slouches when it comes to the amount of runes they have. So, be sure to get your money's worth, I'll say it that way. Remember, you do have various items that could help your mimic, that help your ally. So, okay, so can't go over there because that's entering the no-go zone. Huh? Oh, wow. Love it. Man. This whole area is just rippled in this blood. Smithing Stone 8. And you do have access to Torrent, make no mistake, so. Though it's worth noting, remember, you can't defend while on Torrent. Shields mean nothing on horseback. Let's see. More hero runes. Clearly, these heroes have been ambushed and taken out. They were drawn here by Mogwai, perhaps. Swarm of flies. So it looked like an incantation. Yes. Blood Oath incantation shared from Lord of Blood's power. Releases a swarm of blood flies to caster to assault foes. The vile swarm deals damage and builds up the onset of blood loss. This incantation will be classed. The new palace of the Lord of Blood lies in a swamp festering of blood. These flies are said to spawn from the excrement in that land. One of the major motifs of this game, after all, is life adapting to what is life being adapted to the powers that be. So whether it's Glintstone or the cursed blood here, altering the Albinorics. There's a lot of instances of life being forced to change. Oh. Now we move. Yes, a giant skeleton with a laser beam. And yes, it's dead. guy's bigger. Alright, so there's your tutorial. Big skeleton only goes away when the one who summoned him dies. Good to know. Let's see. But bear in mind, we haven't explored the swamp fully. There's a whole section we haven't touched yet. Mainly because it's one of the rougher areas. It involves an enemy no one likes to deal with. That being... Yep, here it comes. Invaded by what? Another noble of blood? Nameless white mask. Yep. Yep. Got it. The tracking on that slash is really good. Alright. More blood-tainted excrement. And we can get back up. But yeah. As you can see, there's these geysers of blood. Terrifying bonuses. But more importantly, there's those giant birds. No one likes these birds. They just suck and it's really hard to... Yep, and some dogs. There we go. Yeah. And as you might expect, these dogs tainted with this blood do in fact inflict bleed. And it's just for an arterial leaf. But yeah, even the walls are bleeding. So obviously this is not some normal blood. I haven't seen that attack before. Or at least I haven't seen him in a very long time. For anyone who played Bloodborne, that is a very familiar attack. Can't believe I survived that. Ow. Note that their jaws are broken and misshapen, all to inflict greater bleeding. Ow. Yeah, everything about this area is all about inflicting additional bleeding or inflicting extra pain. Okay. Let's get back there. There we go. Number one. There we go. Yeah. Here it comes. Ow. Ow. Yeah, I'm getting sloppy. There we go. And yeah, this is just another chance to pick up extra runes. Alright. Now for all you guys. Nice. There we go. Ooh. Yeah. Too bad. Alright. But yeah, this whole area is all about blood and bleeding and inflicting more. Almost as if everything has been warped for a specific purpose in mind. And like I said, this is a shortcut to the pond where the part of the pond where the birds are. So great. And we're being invaded by nameless white mask. Yep. Okay. Get my health back up. Because here comes the white mask. Yeah. Nope. Okay. And they'll just keep casting it to try and whittle it till you bleed. Yep. Okay. Well, of course. Yep. And that's death. And there goes my 150,000 runes. I was doing so well, too. I was so focused on that, I forgot that they respawn. Well, at this point, since the 25,000 doesn't really feel like it's worth it, let's go explore the other area, because the area around the birds with White Mask isn't really that interesting, if I'm honest. At least from a storyline perspective, it's just an extra... It's just to show you just how warped this cursed blood is. Okay, no bad cookbooks. Yeah. blood roses, which makes sense considering the area we're in. And there's White Mask. Okay. Yep. 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 Yes, yes. Got it. Okay. There we go. Nameless White Mask died. And yeah, this is also a good the best thing about this location is it's a good spot to really see the palace and see the path ahead of you. Yep. Stone sword key, yeah, more of the birds. Falling Drake Talisman +2 helps you. You'll really want that later on, because it really does help with several of the areas. But yeah, specifically around Lanedale too, considering everything around there is holy damage. Alright. Alright, so now we've gone through and we've seen just about everything that area had to offer, which was just the corrupted birds. No, I did not know those big skeletons could be killed. I never bothered trying. It may sound kind of pathetic, but it's the truth. I never bothered trying to kill them. I just kind of ran through this area. Huh. They have an HP bar. Huh. Live and learn. Man, these giant guys, they really do pack a punch, though. Well, remember, this is still a Souls game, so the ability to just run past everything straight to where you want to go is an option. And so long as you have the agility and mobility, which, in truth, Torrent gives you in spades. Yeah. And as far as avoiding, attacks and such, it's a relatively simple affair. To get ourselves up to the temple proper, just seeing if there's any hidden alcoves or anything, but no. It's clear that this was once just another ancestor worshipper temple that just was taken over. The Mogwin Dynasty Mausoleum. And there we go. The map. So there we go. We now have a map of this land. It just curls around and leads up to the Dynasty Mausoleum. And another path up. Yep. This whole area is a side path, and what we're looking is at the very top. What I do want to do is get some spells, reset our spells. So, Shard Spiral works. Glintstone Arc could come in handy here, I believe. We have enough for the magma shot, so I'll do that. Well, we can try Meteorite Vestel. Yeah, we're good there. Yeah, I brought back Glintstone Arc because I remember there being a lot of these guys around here. Yeah. And being able to bust a cloud of them seems like it'd be a relatively useful thing. Just saying. Yep. And yeah, they just inflict a lot of bleed. So switching to armor with high immunity, I believe? Let's see. Let's see. I believe it's robustness, actually. Blood loss, yep. So we need to buff blood loss. Let's see. Anything more robust than Blide? I don't think so. So then from there, non-physical damage negation will actually drop it in favor of robustness. Yeah. So that should give us even more bleed resist. Yeah, let's try burning. That seems to work decently well. Yeah, let's try the meteorites next. Not the bit worst. Yep. Yep. In the meantime, we do have a bunch of staunching boluses. Let's see if we can make some more. Oh yeah. Yeah. There we go. Oh. Yep. Yeah, there's just a lot of these guys. Not much to say about them. They're just decayed and basically literal cannon fodder. Now they're just meant to be hollowed out and bled and used for bleeding. Oops. Yeah. Yep. They're the ones the hollowed. They're the ones who the cursed blood just kind of exists inside of. Newman's Room. Newmans being the powerful individuals from a far land, supposedly. I still call crap on that. I still fully believe that they're just the Noxians. Oh, right, I completely forgot about this. Yes, a giant slime. Yeah. And yes, that's all it is a giant slime. Let's try Nightwing's Mist first. And then magma shots. Actually, since it's so big, this should hit it quite a few times. Yeah, that's not bad. A 1,000 damage each. But for the amount of cost, there we go. Yeah, nice and safe. Thin beast bones for it. Staunching boluses. Again. Yeah. Like, the regular grunts don't care. They're worshippers of it. But they're those that live in death. Stone sword. Yeah. Like, they don't do enough damage to really justify being a threat. Though, can you imagine having the misfortune to touch Deathroot and then being stuck down here with these blood clots just growing on you? Thankfully, they're not capable of feeling pain. The capacity is literally rotted off of them. Still. Oh yay, it begins. Listen carefully. Dung. As I say, I don't think there's a rune bear in here specifically. trying to remember what it is that's so dangerous. Ah, right. One of the nobles. That's why they let you have... Yep. Yep. They let you have backup is because there's one of these nobles and he's the first of like several, I believe. Ah, that's why they said listen. There's a merchant in here. But when you walk over here, yeah, one of these guys spawns. There we go. It's like, I remember there being a trap here.
Oh, dear. You might... Are you here as a customer?
Oh, absolutely. Wow, 5 stone sword keys. We have 6. Just in case, never hurts. Those are never a bad investment. The staunching boluses, obviously, in this area. He actually sells dwelling arrows with an unlimited amount. Ooh. That is definitely nice. Unlimited dwelling arrows. Well, you know what? Why not? Okay.
Oh, I'm afraid of them.
No, what you have is on offer is amazing. Don't sell yourself short, man. Alright. Like this doesn't scream trap. Another Lord's Room. Precious item ahead. Oh, okay, it's just a lot of these guys. Yep. Yep. Oh. Luckily, the mimic tier is largely, as far as I'm aware, immune to bleed. So, just let him go through. Clear your bleeding when you feel it's necessary. Yep. And the last one has... Last few. Of course, this one has extra. But these guys are because they're... Simply put, they're mooks that ended up touching Deathroot and becoming undead. I was gonna say, there's no way that's a fake wall. Or at least I don't think it is. I heard supposedly there's some fake walls that supposedly you have to strike like 20, 30 times. Don't know if that was true or not, but hey, would not surprise me. Try Frost. Oh yeah, just another noble. But again, I mean, they're strong, make no mistake, and even one-on-one, you can really get worked over. But though thinking on it, a mausoleum. Because as I mentioned, I may have not mentioned it today, but part of my playthrough is me trying to sort out how I want to believe the overall Souls plot goes. I truly believe Elden Ring, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and Bloodborne are all connected by a single plot thread. That sounds silly, I know. But I believe there is a single continuous story being told. And this game specifically is the origin point. Alright. This is where everything begins. The truest first sin, so to speak, in my mind, is the acts. The problem is, it's hard to parse out who did what at what point. By the way, this is just a clusterfuck. Just because you don't get help. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Albinorics and a Blood Noble. Luckily, we just got all this stuff, so just to show off why this is such a clusterfuck. Yep, out of MP. Yep. Okay. And I have 3 MP, so I'm just going to let this play out. Yeah, putting free MP on your flask, even for a few seconds, can be a lifesaver. Yeah. No. Yeah, you can just stop. Alright. We're getting there. Nope. Down. Yes. And after all that, a somber smithing ancient dragonstone. So yeah, it's worth it. It's just a pain in the neck, but it is worth it. Because what it is a plus 10 weapon, guaranteed. And and we're actually near the summit. So what we're actually going to do is actually take a moment and go somewhere we haven't been in quite a while. The Table of Lost Grace. After all, power. We have been in hot pursuit of power and ability. Not the least of which can come in many forms.
Well, I took you for dead no matter. Lay out your arm.
Strengthen our armaments. So we have two, so I could get Lucette and Moonveil both up to their maximum. Or I could do... I'm not particularly in love with doing St. Trina's sword yet. Our mace, our magic morning star. Yeah. Bastard stars. Well, if we're gonna do... We have them, so we might as well. And then from there... Then it's getting our mace up further. 8. 23, 24. And finishing it off for a 25. There we go. And...
Greetings, are you here for spirit?
Well, we can definitely get mimicked here. Yep, we just need 14,000 runes. So, Lord's rune. Well, Lord, but when the Elden Ring shattered, all that remained was a distant duty. I've said this before, but if you look closely, what this kind of... the growth and spread is kind of like a cell growing. It gains a nucleus and a core and grows and spreads, kind of resembling the way a tree grows and gains rings. But for me more so, I think it's more symbolic of life. And we'll use a couple of these.
Greetings, are you here for
Get the mimic tier up to +10. Marionette's ashes. We'll leave it at +9 for now. Yeah, and then I'm missing the various ghost gloveworts. Okay. Oh, what the hell. Okay. So, both Moonveil and Lucette's Glintstone Staff are both at max. We don't have any great remembrances at the moment. But what we can deliver... Bell bearings for smithing miner, glovewort pickers, Rogiers. Okay, so now we can purchase up to stone size 6, sombers 3 and 4, ghost gloveworts, as well as minor chuckables, And cracked crystal, actually. Selvises we've cleaned out. Thopses, D's, Rogers, yeah. So if you ever want to get more, that's always the way to go. Alright, so we sit at 649 for Moonveil's attack. Alright. Alright. Let's go. Back to where we were. The Midland. We're a little stronger. Oh boy. Luckily, they won't attack us if we ignore them. And where we're headed is up here. Because, ladies and gentlemen, at the height of the Mogwin Palace Mausoleum, what else would you expect to find? An arm raised towards the heavens. Or is it simply wedged in some sort of egg? No, it's falling. And the blood pours off of it. Now, and from the blood rises like the nobles, the noblest of them. A ring offered, just as we offered a ring.
Dearest Mikola, you must abide alone a while. Welcome, honored guest, to the birthplace of our dynasty.
One of the more hidden ones. Yep. That great spear of his. He's casting something. Can't seem to escape it. Ooh. Now he has wings. His blood is exploding. twisted. Yep, got me on that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he hits harder than I can. There we go. Basically, Mog is all area. He's basically looking to keep you on your feet and out of the way, so you can't hit him. Yeah, he's looking to basically make it impossible for you to get him. Yep. He's not actually that bad, or that capable.
Mine and mine alone.
The funny part is, he's not actually that bad. That's the funny bit. So what I can do is okay. Busy with the mimic, I'm just going to do this. That's right. Okay. Now this is where this starts. Okay. Mimic has a hell of a lot more HP left. Yeah. Try and see if I can just get off with meteors. Like I said. Okay. Last one. Okay. He's all area defense. Is the fun thing. Nice. Yep. 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 He just caught me at the last roll. Always hate that. Sliver of health, and that's what he gets away with. Okay. So, let's try different spells. Okay, so let's think logically. He's too fast for Shard Spiral. Starlight's... Too fast for well, we got them... Okay, the only reason... Comet Azure is too narrow. Meteors works because it can... Yeah. So... he doesn't stand. Nobody stands in a good position for founding rated stars. I've never seen it really work that well. Loretta's great bow, again, too slow. The moons, they're nice, but I don't think it'll accomplish much. Wonder how weak he is to frost. Ambush shard is always for just distance. Again, Nightmare Miss, no. Magma shot. Yeah, see if he's really weak to frost. I could just look it up, but that's no fun. Shattering Crystal. Meteorite of Estelle. Alright, and Basic Comet, why not? Okay. I mean, I could just get another player, but we'll try this. Gotta give him points for moving this much stone so smoothly. I know it's the power of the literal gods working in this area, but man, moving this much stone so smoothly with no hiccups or shaking? Modern elevators could learn a thing or two. Alright. So... okay. So how we'll do this is... We'll try switching it up so the Mimic is casting. And since I have it, might as well just upload. It looks like Flintstone Ice Rag is shit. Oh? Yeah. Yeah, no, looks like Comet actually tracks him well enough. Yep. Nice. It is. Yep.
The king of our dynasty. Morquin.
Unfortunately, that is something that shall not come to pass. Great rune of the Shardbearer Maug, devoid of any benediction. Sink the divine tower of East Atlas, which stands beyond the great bridge from Lanedale's eastern ward. So, this is Michaela. An arm peeking out from inside a cocoon. And all that exists out here is a fantastic place to get a great shot. The falsehood of the stars. Imagine what this was like for the ancestors who originally worshipped here. To see a galaxy of stars unmoving and unchanging. And here, now taken over, the Blood Lord. Wishing to raise Michaela to full godhood, Maug wished to become his consort, taking the role of monarch. But no matter how much his bloody bedchamber he tried to share, he received no response from the young Empyrean. So that means that, likely, yes, Michaela was completely absent from their form. Were they dead? People like to take that motion of the arm being upright and then falling down to release Maug as a sign that Michaela is still alive. I'm not entirely sure on this. I'm honestly looking to see if the arm moves at all. Doesn't seem to. I don't know. I believe that what Maug did, pulling Michaela out of the hailing tree, killed their body, leaving them in a similar situation to Ronnie. I believe we will see Michaela in the DLC, but I still don't hold that more than likely that is actually Marika facing an ancient version of the Erd Tree. But if we're honestly going to enter Michaela's dreams, it's hard to say. Still, we did manage to get a new remembrance, so let's see what we can get made from it. We can either get Blood Boon. Scatters blood flame before the caster to set area aflame. Thrust arm into the body of the formless mother, then scatter the blood flame to set the area ablaze. This incantation the Mother of Truth craves wounds. When Maug stood before her deep underground, his accursed blood erupted with fire, and he was besotted with the defilement that he was born into. Yeah. Shrine to Mogs, Lord of Blood, a sacred spear that will come to symbolize his dynasty. As well as serving as a weapon, it is an instrument of communion with an outer god who bestows power upon cursed blood. The Mother of Truth desires a wound. The wound would allow something to flow in. so we wound ourselves to share the blood.
Now go let the work.
Let's see. Armor sets we have access to is Lord of Blood set, Radon, the Veteran set for super heavy armor, Queen's Robe, Fell Omen Cloak, Cloak of ragged fur worn about the exposed body of Margit, the Fell Omen. Having slaughtered countless champions during the Shattering, the Fell Omen became a horror to those who harbor ambitions for the Erd Tree or for lordship. Yep.
Now let the work.
So, we find ourselves... I don't really have any use for this remembrance, so I'm not going to be using his spear, so pop it raw. That puts us at 450. Nice. And yeah, that gets us up to 30 mind. Lots of casting. What level are we at? 128. And remember we were told we'd get a gift if we managed to find one of the Hidden Lords. From Mogwin Palace. The secret medallions are reunited.
Ah, I see you've laid your hands on the other secret medallion. I'm glad to see my counsel has borne fruit. But the honor of the deed is yours alone. You've made more of yourself than Ensha has. Now, Morim, I suppose you'd like to know then? Me too, my friend.
So supposedly he doesn't know what's in there. Mogwin Palace.
Oh, so that's where the so-called Lord of Blood was hiding himself, eh? A fitting little squat for that deluded maniac to bleat about the revival of his precious dynasty. While he turns our fellow tarnished into bloody fingers. Let him stay there. That way, his delusions will remain as they are, distant and unattainable. But perhaps it's worth looking into. If what I've heard is right, then maybe. Ah, my apologies. The information you shared is of great value, and it is a wonder. You are a true fellow.
The Fervors Cookbook 3. About the Lord of Blood's cocoon.
Ah, I see. So Mikola was with the Lord of Blood after all. That is some fine. With it, one of the last few pieces of the round table. I need, as promised, the last of the secret.
Law of Causality.
There are 4 Mikola of his twin, Melania, Lunar Princess Rani, and the Rani is said to have so here at the Hold. We seek the whereabouts. If you should learn any, I'll trade you. We both desire as such. There are 4 more Demi Mikola of his twin, Lunar Princess.
Okay, so the only one left is Melania, and she's in the Howling Tree.
We both as such.
Yeah, and she's in the Howling Tree, and that's a long road. But let's see. So the Book of Fervor we got. The Witching Branches. Okay. And we also got our hands on what else am I thinking of? Didn't really get too much out of it. But now... We'd have to get through Ordina. Let's see. Since we still have some, let's see what we can improve.
Well, I took you for no matter. It's lay out your own.
Okay. Wing of Estelle. Strike. Yeah. But we already have the mace, so... Actually, that's not bad, so... But we are... Okay, it's kind of serves double duty since we already have that. Since we already have Moonveil. So we'd want something... Actually, Pierce. / Pierce. Actually, like Roger's rapier, or maybe grab one of the other ones. Let's see. Sword chest, let's go to weapons. Let's see. Great swords we don't really need. That's useless. Curved great swords, still no. We have Moonveil. Blood we don't need. Twin blades. Great axe. Whip. Well, we already have things that'll cause bleed, so that's kind of redundant. Okay. Alright. So we got all that. Oh, I know what we can do. Something I forgot about. So we're gonna head back to the consecrated snowfield. Now that we've seen what Moog was doing, which was trying to take over and create... effectively trying to create his own dynasty, and... well, it's not so much that he failed, so much as just... well, yeah, he failed. And in the process of attempting, it looks like he killed Mikola. So one can only imagine. Because Mikola very much does seem to be dead. At least there's no reaction from that arm. Yep. Looks like there's a tree up here. By these Albinoris. Oof, just barely missed that time. What the hell is spitting at me? Oh. Seem really adept at fighting mounted units for some reason. And that one's actually using an incantation. Dirty chainmail. Oh, that's the one that's sniping at me. Okay. Basic butterflies. Nice. I guess I shouldn't be surprised this so close to the Albinauric's rise. There being so many Albinaurics. This is just a way back to trip you up. And more graves. Let's see about this big tree up here. And yeah, plenty of Albinaurics hiding about. They don't seem bothered by temperature. Kind of an interesting thing. But then again, they are an artificial life form. And apparently a fairly successful one, since they adapt to just about every possible living situation. And they can even cast incantations. Which normally are only really castable by... Wow, and Dragon Wound Grease of all things. But yeah, speaking of incantations, the one we got... Incantation of the Golden Order Fundamentalist, one of the key fundamentals. Heals all night... No, wait. Yeah, Law of Regression was the one we could cast. Law of Causality manifests a small ring of causality within that allows the caster to automatically retaliate upon receiving a certain number of blows. The fundamentalists describe the Golden Order through the powers of regression and causality. Causality is the pull between meanings, that which links all things in a chain of relation. Note, these are the only two miracles we're able to cast. Are both the law of causality and regression. They have less to do with the common magic than they do sorcery. Alright, Marika statue, which means you can die here and not lose too much progress. And off we go. But this isn't an Erd tree. In fact, it just looks like a bunch of rocks with some branches sticking out of it. Nope, it's still considered a minor Erd tree. Bizarrely enough. Well, if that's true, it doesn't have the golden glow. All it has that keeps telling us that is the Guardians who sprout and plant themselves over and over again. Hell, I haven't even seen a Guardian pop out. Ah. But there is one. Okay. There we go. Got Scarlet Rot, so that sucks. Well, at least that explains... Well, that does mean that the Mimic isn't going to be that useful. Yep. Here we go, and run. Third. Yep. And there. The Thorny Crag tier and the Ruptured. So Thorny and make consecutive attacks grow stronger. Alright. Continue, so if you can hit repeatedly. And of course Ruptured. Basically let you blow up. So if you want to just be a suicide bomber and you take them with you, that is an option. I was gonna say, if that's a hidden wall I don't know about, so be it. But yeah. So there was a... Okay, so this is in fact a minor Erd tree. One that has definitely not grown well out here in the cold. We find tarnished sunflowers, but not much else to indicate much of its nature. Though there are some giant dragonflies. But yeah. Not much else to say about this place. Yet another minor Erd tree. They come about... What makes all these Erd trees failures? Like, why do they only grow to be minor ones? We'll get to that down there in a bit. That is Ordina, the liturgical city. Oop. For those who don't know, liturgy is usually a reference to the works of the church. And in this case, various things, but you'll see that the North is kind of a confluence of several religious identities. There's those who live in Ordina, we'll see later. There's the fire monks who broke off and became the Black Fire monks, who worked under the Low-Mind Queen. There's quite a few different ways. Alright. We'll head back to the inner consecrated snowfield, because now I want to go to the Albinorix Tower. Because I stopped myself before because I didn't remember the exact specifics for this. What we will need, though, are some more crystal darts. Should be all we need. Ah, here we are. Because this is your hint. What you want to do is get them to fight each other. It's the usual easiest way to do that is because these still, remember, these are ashes, but these are still ashes of okay. There we go. Now they start fighting each other. And that opens the seal. Okay. Because you needed one to strike the other. That's basically the requirement. So the Albinorix rise. One could imagine it's because this is where Albinorix were being studied. Why would the Albinorix be studied all the way out here? My personal belief is that effectively they were being studied and Graven Mass Talisman. Greatly raises the potency of sorceries. A talisman depicting the first school of Graven Mages, a nightmare that would continue to haunt the Academy. The primeval current is a forbidden tradition of glintstone sorcery. To those who cleave to its teachings, the act of collecting sorcerers to fashion them into seeds of stars is but another path of scientific inquiry. Now, you'll notice that the difference between the first Graven Mage school and the later ones is that the number is absolutely massive and the crystals are further spread out. There's more raw glintstone. Where there, the glintstone is, where the smaller one is, the glintstone is not as outwardly developed and protruding. This is because, to me anyway, Glintstone is sort of a parasite. Actually, it's the same as like the Scarlet Rot and the various influences we see on the land. Where, if we consider it, that say this land was forbidden because this land here, up here in the Forbidden North, let's say it's forbidden specifically because it was the homeland of both the fire giants and various other forces. But what's interesting is, as much as the Golden Order brags about their war with the giants, it seems like there's other things hidden here that they didn't want anyone to know. It's the reason you need a second medallion to get to this side. If they had their way, and again, the guidance of grace only directs you up towards the last giant. This whole area would remain blank if the Order had its way. Alright. So, the reason being is because I believe that this northern area, by and large, held a lot of the survivors. I've said before that I believe that the three eternal cities were forced underground by literally being shoved down by all sorts of forces. Essentially, the Greater Will dropped mountains upon mountains on top of them. Some of those mountains included things that had glintstone and other forces attached to them. Thus, we see a lot of that. What's more interesting about this is less so that I believe that the northern areas were one of the ones untouched by it relatively. And there seems to be a ghost here, lying dead, or dying at the very least. You rot Noman, your blood is cursed, give him back, give Lord Michaela back. Okay. Yeah. It's just, give back Michaela. Alright. Now for a fun bit, folks. The most violent of the frigging... This is the most violent of the walking mausoleums. It is covered in these golden ghosts to defend it, as well as these artillery strikes that hurt. Yeah. Yep. And it also walks the fastest. Just because it has a capacity for artillery strikes. Okay. And getting it to settle the hell down is just an accomplishment on its own. It took me quite a few tries my first time. Alright. There. But we're actually not done. Because the reason this was here is because this is a holy site as well. What's interesting is it's a holy site. The apostate derelict. Here we find the Great Sister, one of the Albinorics, the women version, the silver mirror shield. Shield of radiant silver, festooned with amber and carried by Loretta, Knight of the Howling Tree. The shape is said to imitate that of a sacred drop of dew, which inspired the absurd rumor that Loretta herself was an Albinoric. Surely not. I mean, sure, Loretta rides around on her horse constantly, but surely, of course, she can't be one. Note that it's a relatively nice medium shield, 100% physical resist. And the major thing is magic what resist out the wazoo. It's a slightly better version, less holy resistance than the. Basically, you trade holy resistance for just magic defense. So, yeah, why not? It looks good too. And here we can summon Latenna. If you'll remember, Latenna asked us to come to the north to help her. Latenna was renowned as a deft magic archer, but having lost her beloved wolf companion Lobo, she cannot move from the place when she's summoned. Yep. So she came here. Note, she's still moving and living. So this Albinoric woman is still here. The apostate derelict. She's an apostate, so it cast out from Ordina with the rest of them.
O young yet towering sister of ours, let the birthing droplet in and create life for us, for all the Albinorics. Thank you. I finally fulfilled my purpose. Our young yet towering sister will give us hope. Now that nothing is left unfinished, I will join you in battle to the bitter end. And when the fighting is done, then you may lay me to rest. Beside Lobo, my dear wolf.
So what we may now believe is that she had to deliver something that would enable her to be born again, I imagine. So, Albinorics maybe procreate, maybe not asexually, but it's a form of that. Might as well move up to 70 intelligence and then just pump dexterity for a bit. Still, she's cast out, but she's still loved. Here we see a small tree covered in Trina's lilies. So now we begin... I suppose we can start doing what's... Oh boy, one of the more frustrating areas. That being the path to the hauling tree. Knight required ahead. Maybe it's a knight cavalry? And octopuses. Yeah, oh no, Deathrite bird. Okay. Okay. Ow, ow, ow. Yeah. Alright. Okay, there we go. Alright. Ow. Though, actually, from the physique of the Deathrite birds, you know what I'm thinking of is the, thinner version of the Godskin Nobles. The way their body twists. Alright, now that's gonna pause. Yep. Oh. Rolled into the fire, didn't mean to. But okay, Deathrite bird is there. Good to know. They're not fun fights, especially. But the Apostate Derelict is basically... essentially what it looks... Huh. I just noticed there's someone on the cliff over there. Looks like one of the looks like one of the axe-wielding, like, guards. The, gladiators. That's the word I'm thinking of. But yeah, come to think of it, they do really the Deathbird's main body being so slim and cylindrical like that really does remind me of the thinner Godskin Nobles. Let's see. No, yeah, it is one of the gladiators. Pretty good casts out of that. Rotten Duelist, Greaves, and get Great Axe. That's it. Great Axe designed for gladiatorial combat, now festering with scarlet rot. Used by duelists who are exiled from the Colosseum. That makes sense. At least there's no real lore behind that. That is just what it is. Oh boy. Now this area. Ordina, the liturgical town. Liturgy being the ministrations of a church. If I had to guess, but there's nothing here. So yeah. And like I said, the North seems to be a melting pot of ideas and various religious thoughts on death. So in my mind, at the very least, this place is... because it's very clearly Sellian style architecture. It's very much like, well, the villages of Sellia. So why that's important is because that ties also to the city of Nox. The Noxians, the underground people, who I believe posed when they were up above as the quote-unquote Newmen. It's the reason you find Newman runes underground. Yeah. At least that's my personal belief. And there's the ashes of all these Albinorics. Yep. Alright. So the real secret of this place is that Ordina is caught. There's a trap slash whatever, however you would like to phrase it. There's a lot hidden here. Alright. And here, the seal is held shut. Note the symbol. Something like... what crest does that look like? It's almost like it's depicting the Erd Tree. Well. Okay, enough puttering around. Let's get to the actually how you engage with Ordina. First thing you'll want to do is equip the Sentry's Torch. Torch given the protectors of the Erd Tree, its flames are bestowed with a special incantation, which allows its bearer to see assassins cloaked in veils, furnished on behalf of the Erd Tree and grace-given Lord, such that a Knight of Black Knives will never come again. Enter the Everjail. Here in the Everjail, this place was sealed, abandoned, and kept because there's a single truth to this place. And that is that this is the home of the Black Knives. Yep. sentry's torch, they're invisible. But more important than that, that this town ties Celia to the Nox because of the architecture, which then in turn ties themselves to the Newman, who are which is the fake name the Nox gave themselves when they started living above ground. And remember, Marika was a Newman. Let's see. Carrion Slicer, Moonblade, and Hidden Body. Okay. And let's try Carrion Slicer. We haven't tried that yet. But yeah. So it wouldn't be hard to imagine that when Marika was connected to the Greater Will via the Elden Ring, that things started to get out of hand. Alright. There are 4 torches in this town that you need to light. The good/bad side is this place is covered in those Black Knife assassins. So yeah. As well as Albinoric women who are incredible snipers. So, the unseen form. Luckily, they forget where we are. There we go. Yep. Be prepared. Lots of snipers here. And note, this is an Everjail, so you do have a limited space. You can't just walk out of town. Alright. But yeah, there's plenty of tools you have to use. But the nice part is you don't have to do all 4 at once. Though it's worth noting that all these statues are of Mikola, indicating that, of course, this is how they chose to defend it, is a hidden version. Yeah, you can't ride Torrent in here. So, yeah, we'll take the roof method. The less you have to engage with the Black Knives, generally, the happier you're going to be. form again just to freshen it up. Note there is a limit to the range. Ah, damn it. Yeah, Unseen does have a limited range, so eventually you will have to be noticed. Luckily, we just removed one of the major threats, which is one of the 2 snipers. Yep, and there's a Black Knife Assassin. Yep. 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 Note that their blades... Note the effect of their blade. I've lost a chunk of HP now, and I cannot get it back right now. And because I need to use the frigging Sentinel, I can't... Yep. Yep. Okay. Okay, get my HP back. Okay. I hate that. Ghost Glow for it. So not the worst thing. After all, they are dead. I mean, the blue flame is indication that they're burning corpses. Yeah, this place is pretty grim. Okay. Alright. And over there. And up over here. Okay, so we can go here. Nope, need to go a different way to get there. Okay. Okay, can get up here now. So that's 2. On the seals. Note that the lamp that they're holding is the seed. What's kind of interesting is it looks almost like a lotus plant. As if, remember that these Trina lilies that Michaela is supposed to love. Michaela's lily. Delicate water lily of unalloyed gold that has started to fade and wilt. Like purple on the verge of wilting. So we usually equate that Trina, Saint Trina, is Michaela. But what's interesting about it is if that's true, Michaela and St. Trina being the same makes one thing interesting is note that the flower it's holding, the lamp, greatly resembles the lily only if it's held up completely directly up. Which begs the question then, ow, that hurt. That really hurt. Okay. So there's this one, and then there's the last one over there. All right. And we light this one. And run. So if I'm not mistaken, I think there's a ladder. Over here. Yeah. And this should bring us up to the final platform. Now here's a question for you all. Why is it guarded by... And the last one. A seal was broken in town. Why is this being guarded specifically by Albinorix and the knight and the Black Knife assassins? Well, because very likely there's no one else Marika or Michaela would trust. And the Black Knight set. Surprisingly heavy and good armor, actually. Hood used by the Black Knife assassins. The assassins that carried out the deeds of the Knight of the Black Knives were all women, and were rumored to be Newman, who had close ties to Marika herself. Like nothing for nothing, their armor is actually fairly decent for the weight. And it's scale armored, so these are... So this is traces of power yet remaining concealing veil, which muffles the sound of footsteps. The assassins carried out the deed of the Knight of Black Knives were all women and rumored to be Newman, who had close ties. Yeah, and indeed it does. Makes you harder to detect. Can definitely live with that. Oh, we can put our shield back. Alright. And you'll notice a lot of the barriers that were around this town are now gone, because we lit those up. Not too much else here about that. But Ordina was a liturgical town, so basically an emphasis on finding the truth of what the churches offered. And, well, there was the fire giant's flame, among other religious orders and sects, all gathered here. But it's clear that Marika won out. And what was sealed away at the back of this place. Is the path and the only way to the Holic Tree. Michaela's Holic Tree. The fact that they need to distinguish this tells me that there is another one somewhere. Some people like to say that the image we saw for the shadow of the Erd Tree is this Holic Tree. To which I keep asking everyone, where is that golden field of plains? Like, the furthest, closest pieces of land are frozen wastelands of the north. We see bits of gold and golden fields like we will see over here in the Atlas Plateau. And yes, it could just be, it's just a dream, so it doesn't have to be exact. But even then, it still feels a bit off. By the way, these hornblowers, who were obviously a variation of the Claymen, by the fact that they have some origin to them at least. After all, it was the Claymen we first encountered, who had the bubble sorceries, and these are obviously a take and variation on it. Though, something that to also note, these mushrooms growing on here, some of them belong to the Scarlet Rot, but others look like those mushrooms that grow around the ancestor worshippers, or around the ghosts who are being slowly degraded. Nice. Let's see. Might as well keep going down. But as you can see, there's 3 hornblowers up there, and yes, all 3 of them are pretty much unavoidably going to start shooting at us. Should have brought the... Wow. Impressive amount of damage, wouldn't you say? For a bubble. But it's also because they're so slow. It means that you should be able to dodge them. Yep. But yeah. Lots of snipe shots on us. There we go. Wow. Oh, got me. As you can see though, they don't do an immense amount of damage, but they do enough to be annoying. But like I said, I should have brought some I needed a different tool for this. Yeah, I have enough spades. Let's test how much damage output goes. Especially if we put on both Graven, because I believe they stack. So let's see. Putting all of my energy and time into this shot. Okay, it's a one-shot kill, so... Tarian's Loretta's Great Bow is paying off as ever. Nice. So, we'll take it nice and slow. Yep. Nice. Let's see, all the way back here. Alright. There are plenty of ways to drop down and plenty of ways to die in this area. Basically, this is flashbacks of getting to Ash Lake, if I'm honest. But still. Alright. You can even see ants. Which tells us the journey. Wow. Well, I was locked into place, so no big surprise. Besides, the payout here isn't that great. If I'm honest, the payout for these guys isn't that great, so it's honestly mostly just a matter of them being annoying. Wow, is that one all the way in the back actually even bigger? Yeah, I never noticed the big boy back there. Huh, I'm kind of curious to go over and see him. Just out of idle curiosity. I don't think I've ever gotten them to drop their horn. Like, just realizing, on just a purely personal standpoint, I don't think I've ever gotten them to drop their horn. Alright. Damn it, that's gonna hurt. Yep. Wow. Huh. Yeah, the damage output here sucks. Well, then again, that's probably holy damage, so... Let's see, if I go to, like, scale, set... moves me to heavy. What can I do? Okay. Let's see. Physical. Rather than that, then, rather than boosting magic damage, let's see about. So that'll put me at 44%. Okay, how much? Alright. See if maybe that doesn't help out. Shanked. I still, because I truly have no idea about these horn blows or why they're important, and why they only show up here and then laying down. I truly have never gotten them to drop their horn, so I don't get any real backstory for them so far. Alright. Alright. Just have to keep moving. Golden room. I'm truly curious just because this one, it looks so much bigger than the others. Yep. It's a matron, alright. Sense. Yeesh. Okay. Okay, she herself doesn't drop it. It itself doesn't drop anything. Okay, the Envoy Crown. Yeah. Alright. Nice. So what does the Envoy Crowns have to say? Soft bundle worn on the head by Oracle envoys, densely wrapped in layers of cloth, raises the potency of bubble-based skills. No one knows what the cloth hides, but some claim to have heard faint whimpering from inside. It must have been their imagination. Well, from what we can see, they're bloated with some kind of something, which is effectively taking them over and using their flesh. So I suppose it wouldn't be too remiss to imagine that, like most of these things, it's a parasite of some kind just taking over. Forming stones. Used for healing others. Makes sense here in Michaela's tree. Yep, okay. Bleed. Okay. And that's another Okay. Alright. Now here's a funny question for you all. With all this clearly Scarlet Rot inspired blight that's all over the place, do you think it was there originally, or did it come purely because, as a result of Melania returning here after attacking Caelid? Chicken or the egg sort of question, I suppose, but it's one worth asking. Yep. Oof. Yep, here it comes. Scarlet Rot. Oh. Contraption does not move. Alright, well, we finally got down here to Hollingtree Town. And this is a shortcut we want desperately. Here's another thing of interest. You know those torches you found, leading you to all those secret hidey holes? Apparently, they're styled in the same way these torches are. So more than likely, they're tied to this. Perhaps they're secrets that Michaela researched. Well, it's worth imagining anyway. As things stand, though, 110. Yeah, why not? I'm getting kind of tired, so I think we're going to leave it here tonight, folks. Thank you all for joining me. I have been the Ephemeral One, and this has been more of me back on my bullshit about the story of Elden Ring. Thank you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now, folks. Bye for now.